Less is more, my friends. Today, we embark on a journey towards waste reduction and the art of minimalism. In this episode, we are joined by Mr. Audley Gordon, who tells us how living with less clutter can lead to a cleaner island and a happier you. Let's simplify our lives and leave a lighter footprint.
Welcome to Manage Your Waste for the Summer, the podcast dedicated to exploring practical ways to reduce waste and create a more sustainable future. Today, we will be discussing waste minimalism and waste reduction. And joining us is our Executive Director of the National Solid Waste Management Authority, Mr. Audley Gordon. Welcome, sir.
Well, thanks for having me. Delighted.
Perfect. How would you describe the current state of waste management in Jamaica?
Well, to be honest, I think the NSWMA, with the resource available to it, is doing the best job possible. I know that that might not be what the public would love in some areas, but the truth is we need resources that we currently don't have in abundance. We have to also be thankful, though, because in the last 6 years, we have had significant increase in the machineries in terms of trucks, etc., to do the job. But we are still not where we want to be yet. However, our challenges are many out there because the behavior of some of our residents are not what it's supposed to be. I'm talking about things like containerization, and I'm talking about illicit dumping. I'm talking about the tossing of things through the windows of cars, etc. So all of that make our job more difficult as if it wasn't already. And so even while we try to do the best we can in the communities, we still see illegal dump sites popping up all over the places. And we see also our shorelines and so on being littered by garbage that wash down when it rains, etc. So there are problems, but a lot of it is cultural.
Yes, yes. All right. And with all these problems, what are some of the initiatives that the National Solid Waste Management Authority has to reduce waste?
Well, the National Solid Waste Management Authority, through the Community Relations Department, has gone into communities in an extensive way to try and communicate best practices to the residents. We are talking about composting that we have done in communities where we try to get people to use back the waste at source. We are talking about the pushing aggressively the reduce, reuse, recycle as a 3Rs program. We are talking about other initiatives in schools where we talk about plastic separation and in communities too. We are talking about all sort of initiatives like the SWEEP initiative. We are talking about the partnerships that we have struck with community leaders, parish councillors working through the municipal corporations. We have been attending the municipal meetings all over the island and communicating best practices and striking up partnerships with people all over. Because we always believe that if we're going to clean Jamaica, we have to have the partnership. Nowhere would we ever be able to do the kind of job that is required without the people playing their part. So a great deal of what we do is a partnership that we try to develop.
All right, perfect. So, of course, partnership is important, but what role do you see education and public outreach playing in encouraging behavioral change?
Absolutely. Public education is fundamental because unless we get the people to understand their role, unless we get them to understand that, look, we are in this together and it is at source that the problem is. For example, when we eat, how do we throw the refuse, the food that we no longer want, the discarded food items? If we don't, then if we don't do it properly, we can have rat infestation, things like that. It is important to get people to know this, to educate them, to get them to know that, look, it's not good just to finish, eat, and throw it out, the remains. No, because when you do that, you're creating a bigger problem. So yes, an educated population would be a big benefit, not just to us at the NSWMA, but to the country in general. Education to get the people the best practice, to let them know where their responsibility lies. That's a critical component, and that's the reason why we published recently a citizens guide where we try to enumerate the different responsibilities where we are concerned and where the public is concerned, because we believe strongly in education. We believe that the people need to know what to do, even as we try to enforce and even as we try to get the legal framework in place in terms of the fines, etc. The people need to know what to do, which is why we are big on the school programs that we have. Even recently in the WPM region, there in Montego Bay, we had the art competition where several schools partner with us to do this competition. And part of what we are trying to do is to get the children to buy in from an early age into waste management. When we did the Mandeville, the march through the town of Mandeville, over 200 school children was a part of that march. Yes, because we want the children to be there getting that education from early about waste management and its best practices, so that they then can become future leaders in waste management and be disciples and go home and pressure the parents, pressure the community members to do better. You know, when the children get involved in it, it gets a little more exciting because they will stay on it, they will stay on message, and they will drive the adults into a better way of living.
So true, sir, and that is such a good approach. However, there's a lot of misconceptions as it relates to garbage and how we deal with waste. In your experience, what are some of the misconceptions or barriers that you think Jamaicans hold regarding waste reduction?
Unfortunately, one of them is they believe that when them dirty up the place, people get paid to clean it up. So they actually believe that they are doing people a favor.
Yes.
When they dirty up the place. I've never seen more garbage. No pun intended. I mean, that's just absolute rubbish. They cannot be right to dirty up the place. It cannot be right to litter. You cannot be claiming some kind of great favor on society because you're littering, you become a litter bug. You claim that you're doing people a favor. Nothing like that. And we need to get that myth out the way. The other thing is that there are people who believe that somehow they pay their property taxes.
Yes.
So the government have a duty to come and clean up. And because of that, they believe that just about anything can be put anywhere. No. Yes, the government have a role to play. Yes, the property taxes contribute to the waste management in the country. But if we don't do it in an orderly way, if we don't dispose in an orderly way, you will never have enough property tax dollars to do the cleanup.
Yes.
So it's important that we don't just get it in our heads because we pay our property taxes, our responsibility stops right there. Yes. No, we still have a further duty to ensure that we deal with the garbage in a responsible manner, that we put it out in a responsible manner, properly package it. We still have a duty to ensure that we not become a litter bug.
True. It's so true. And I mean, I know a lot of people will say, oh, when the men come, they're not raking around my bins and little stuff like that. But ultimately, we do have a responsibility as well to play regarding waste reduction and properly disposing of our waste. But sir, what plans does the NSWMA have? Do you have any new plans, new projects coming up to deal with waste reduction? A few years ago, you came up with composting, and it has become a big thing, and it's something that the agency and the authority and its agencies have been pushing. Are there any new plans?
We are emphasizing travel waste, and this year in our solid waste week, environment week, we did push the argument for travel waste. If you drive along the coastlines, if you just about any thoroughfare in major thoroughfare, you will see, even the minor ones, you will see too much garbage along the wayside, and all that garbage is came through the windows of motor vehicles. People that's walking, just drop whatever they have, the discarded item, just throw it. We want to get the travel waste, some more focus on travel waste. But we will continue to push composting. And why we want to continue to push composting? And right now, as we speak, we are planning a big a series of town hall meetings across the island to talk about composting and to bring it in a frontal way to the people, because a good 70% of the garbage that we currently put in a truck and take to a disposal site is compostable. So if we could get people to do composting as source more, we would need less truck and we would need less acreage for disposal sites. We wouldn't have to have these huge disposal sites. Composting can be the biggest game changer we have.
Yes.
We're planning to expand the sweep initiative, and we are also planning a national, you're hearing it here first, plastic separation. We're going to go into separation of plastic in a national way. We started it in a piecemeal way. If you will, it's very successful, I must say, in communities across the island. I know each region have their different communities where they're doing plastic separation. In the corporate area, for example, is over 40 communities where in plastic separation and counting. And the people are excited to separate the plastic. They're calling us for the bags. When we don't go for the plastic, they call, they cuss us out, come for the plastic. We have the plastic here. The people are engaged in it. Jamaica is calling out for it. And we are going to answer that call. A little late, but better late than never. So we're getting 10 tipper trucks towards the end of the year, early next year. We're getting 10 tipper trucks in the batch of 50 that's coming. 10 of them will be tipper. And those will be specifically assigned to do the solid waste management separation program nationally. The NSWMA is going into full separation mode across the island, and we can't wait for that to happen. The other thing is the bulky waste, which is a problem. We don't have structured bulky waste program now as we should. We just started to do a quarterly thing. With the tippers coming, we will be able to structure our bulky waste program more. So when people have old stuff, they can call us and we will be able to respond because we'll have the capacity to do so. A lot of these things are not things that are novel, they're not new things. They have been talked about a lot. But the truth is we just didn't have the capacity to deliver on them. We will put ourselves in a better position come the end of the year to early 24, where we can respond decisively to some of these things. So yes, look out for national plastic separation and look out for a more structured bulky waste program.
Perfect. And these are exciting news. Sir, how do you envision Jamaica's waste management landscape in the coming years? Ideally,
the waste management, it can only improve. We are getting on top of the situation slowly but surely. When we get the other 50 trucks, we will be in a position to really put a serious dent into the challenge that we have now in terms of the collection side. With regards to the funding for public education, we are getting some help in that respect too. So we should be able to do more on the public education side, which is where I think we have fallen down badly as a country. We have not put the focus, that sustained focus on public education. We will be doing that more in the coming year. And I think with the improved public education and people buying in more into our messages, with the improved capacity to collect, with things like national separation of plastic, with the structured bulky waste program, with the citizens guide out there, I can see improvement coming, significant improvement in the waste management landscape of our country.
All right, perfect. What practical steps can individuals now take in their daily lives to reduce waste generation? You spoke about composting and you spoke about plastic bottle separation. Are there any other practical steps that individuals can take?
Go back to washing plate. I say that I say that deliberately because I know that a lot of people now they don't do what we used to do when we used to use reusable plates. Yes. Everybody's into disposable now, disposable. So the garbage is you're seeing a lot of the disposable boxes and so on in the garbage, right? We don't cook again. I guess there's a change in society. So most people order food and they get a thing. But that's one we are accumulating more garbage. We must get back into reusable.
Yes.
Things that can be, you're keeping a party, for example. You can get the cups and the plates and stuff that can be, instead of throwing them out, you can use them back. Gift bags, for example, instead of gift wrap.
Yes.
You can keep the gift bags and you can. So there are a number of little things that we can do. Paper and so on. We can find ways to reuse them and so on, and that would make a major contribution out in the waste management scenario. There is also I can't leave composting, because there are some simple ways, and we have reached a point now where we have some small bins that are literally odorless. We have, so even in apartment complexes, you can do your little composting.
Yes,
and so on. And you ask me what you're gonna do with the compost. Well, you can give it to a school for the flower garden. You can give it to the youth club if they are out there. They could make a business of it, and for sale. Composting is very rich soil nutrient, and it is something that gives you better yield, cleaner yield. So it's healthier for the society, healthier for the environment. And we just need to look at these little things, and we have to keep talking about them. We have to go there and do the communication so that people can get into them, and we can all become up in the waste management arrangement.
Perfect, sir. And of course, composting assists with helping people to grow their crops organically, less synthetic fertilizer. Ultimately, it's good for our health. And this now would lead to the question: what are the economic benefits of waste reduction? A lot of people do not know the economic benefits, and there are economic benefits to waste reduction. Can you shed some light on that, sir?
Well, that one will take another program. That will take its own program. But just a summary, that we just talk about composting, which can be a huge economic benefit. That's one. But we also can make a little something from the plastic too, because as you accumulate the plastic, the recycling partners will wait. Plastic very light, so it won't take a lot. Yes. But you can get a little something from that also. But separate apart from those immediate, tangible financial returns, look at the health benefit. Yes. When you have proper waste management, when you have a clean environment, we can't put a dollar figure. Yes. On the health benefit to our children, to ourselves, and so on. So good waste management practices is not just something that could bring you returns in the short term, but it could have long-term positive impact on the health of your population.
Perfect. And of course, it does help sustainability. Sir, are there any final words you would give to our listeners and our viewers?
Absolutely. I would love to say that there are a good percentage of Jamaica who are doing right by the environment. They properly containerize their garbage. They have proper receptacles at the gate. We want to congratulate them. You make our job easier, and you're doing a big favor for your country, which is invaluable, and we can't say enough thanks. There are still, though, a high percentage of people who I believe need to come to the party. They are hell-bent on dirtying up while we are trying to clean up. I am appealing to them. Let us just put our hands together and make Jamaica the cleanest, most beautiful country on earth. We can do it. As a matter of fact, growing up as a child, everyone used to clean up their surroundings, and they used to take pride in doing it. So we have demonstrated historically that we have the capacity to do it. Let us not throw away those things that work well for us. Even as we get into a more modern society, let us have the clean society as part of our mandate. And together, Jamaica's beauty will remain our duty.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Gordon, for joining us today on this program. Truly, you have made some valid points, many takeaways from what you have said today. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks very much, Shauna. Great program, and look forward to talking to you again.
All right. Bye-bye.
We've minimized our way through this episode, folks. But remember, less is more when it comes out to waste reduction and minimalism. Tune in next time for more clutter-busting tips and waste wrestling adventures. Stay minimal, stay magnificent.